What is up? Goblin Bob here, your source for mono red commander information, here with 5 new cards from Bloomburrow. Part 3. You can check out the other videos by going to my channel, clicking the card, or at the end screen of this video. Let's get right into it. For our first card on our list, we have Blacksmith's Talent. For 1 red, we have an enchantment class. You can gain the next level as a sorcery to add its ability. When Blacksmith's Talent enters, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Sword with equipped creature gets +1/+1 and equip 2. For 2 and a red, you can go to level 2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, attach target equipment you control to up to 1 target creature you control. For 3 and a red, you can go to level 3. During your turn, equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste. This card's pretty cool. For 1 red, you're getting an equipment. It only gives +1/+1, but it works well with the 2nd and 3rd levels of this spell, and in decks where artifacts or equipment matter. With level 2, you'll be able to attach target equipment to 1 target creature, and level 3 is awesome. Equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste, so you can definitely do some tricks with this, playing some bigger creatures, giving them double strike and haste, and coming in for the attack. For number 2 on our list, we have another enchantment, Festival of Embers. For 4 and a red, we have an enchantment. It says, during your turn you may cast instant and sorcery spells from your graveyard by paying 1 life in addition to their other costs. If a card or token will be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. And for 1 and a red, you can sacrifice Festival of Embers. With this card, you're going to be given a second chance to use some instants and sorceries, and I like that you're able to sacrifice it when you're done using it. So this could make for some really big turns if you have a lot of instants and sorceries in your graveyard, and you need to use them again. The second ability makes this card weak in decks where graveyard triggers matter, but once again you can sacrifice Festival of Embers once you're done using it. So even if you just use it for a couple turns to play some spells from your graveyard, then you can just get rid of it and go back to normal. With number 3 on our list, we have another enchantment. It's Hoarder's Overflow. For 1 and a red, we have an enchantment. When Hoarder's Overflow enters and whenever you expend 4, put a stash counter on it. You expend 4 as you spend your 4th total mana to cast spells during a turn. And for 1 and a red, you sacrifice Hoarder's Overflow, discard your hand, then draw cards equal to the number of stash counters on Hoarder's Overflow. So this card's pretty cool, especially in decks where you have ways of spending 4 mana and getting those stash counters, because then eventually it turns into a one-man wheel for you. And if you can rack those stash counters up, this could be really useful if you have no cards in hand or very little cards in hand, and you're going to draw a bunch of cards off of it. But at the very least, you're going to get 1 card, which isn't very good, so hopefully you can get those stash counters on there. For number 4, we have a creature, Stormsplitter. A creature otter wizard for 3 and a red with haste, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a token that's a copy of Stormsplitter. Exile that token at the beginning of the next end step. I also like the flavor text. It says, "We'll cover more ground if I split up." Now this card just seems really good. You'll be creating tokens that are creating tokens on tokens, and it just seems like you could have some really big turns with this. I can't wait to see what people come up with this card. I could see it going well with impact trimmers, and honestly it's going to get kind of confusing when you're creating tokens that create tokens and the original creates more tokens and everything creates tokens. It's going to be crazy if you're able to cast a lot of instant and sorcery spells on a turn, which with a lot of impulse draw you should be able to pull it off. Last on our list we have another creature, the Valley Flamecaller. For 2 and a red, we have a creature, Lizard Warlock, with if a lizard, mouse, otter, or raccoon you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals that much damage +1 instead. So this is like the Torbran of lizard, mouse, otter, and raccoon decks. But a couple cards that it would go well with from Bloomburrow is the Hearthborn Battler, the Hired Claw, and Coruscation Mage. I talk more about those cards in some of my other Bloomburrow videos, so check those out as well. But yeah, I'm thinking about putting together a lizard tribal deck, so maybe this will go well in that. We'll see. I'm really digging all the lizard tribal stuff that's been coming out so far. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you like what you see, please subscribe and click that like button, and I'll see you next time.